Good morning, my beautiful people. Round 2, day 2 of going live. Okay, so today I have a special featured guest with me.
Good morning, everyone.
From France. A little croissant for today.
Salut.
Yeah, we're collaborating for this quarantine time and have some projects that you might see at some point. Yeah. So he's gonna help with the musical vibe for today. So just like yesterday and for the rest of the week, we'll be doing 10 minutes of conscious breathing, 5 minutes of a meditation practice, and at the end, a conscious streaming. So, what you need is a pen and paper, just one page, that's all you need, but a pen and paper, and then a comfortable seated area, a zone where you can sit comfortably. I have a cushion. You can sit in a chair as well, or on a couch. And you can come into any position that's right for you. Some people like easy pose. I prefer this pose. You can come onto your knees. Whatever is most comfortable to you, ideally to where you will be able to focus on the practice. And also, in an ideal world, you would come to a quiet space where you wouldn't be disturbed. And I know that that's not really reality sometimes, and I think just like I keep throwing out, all is welcome. You should get used to sort of finding a flow in any environment that you're in, but yeah, try to find a zone if you can for this time where your mind is not fearful of interruption. You can focus on the practice. Okay, so I would like you to come into a comfortable seated position where your sit bones can feel like they're rooted into the earth or rooted into whatever sit position that you're in. And pushing down into the sit position, you feel a residual lift coming up the spine, all the way up through the crown of your head, lifting your head up, up, up. So your spine is lengthened, lengthening your spine. And today, we're going to do a balancing practice. A balancing practice for your system. And I love this one. It's called Nadi, Shodhana. Nadi is like channel. And this is Sanskrit, so the definition's a little wonky, but Nadi is channel, and Shodhana is purification. So we'll be purifying some of our channels and balancing the left and right side of your brain, and then the left and right side of your body, ideally, throughout this practice. And I'd like to do a little fun hack before, because I'm all about these little life hacks that you can just, you know what I mean? So this fun life hack, and it's, I would like you to, okay, there's multiple tests for this, but with your thumb, plug your right nostril and breathe sharply. And try to get a sense for what that sounds like. What does this sound like? And then switch and do your left. Plug your left. And try to, you can go back and forth and see which one feels more clogged, or the idea is one has a higher pitch than the other one. So if one has a higher pitch, notice that there's a higher pitch. The higher pitch nostril is the one that is congested. And if you didn't catch that, there's still more practices, still more little tests. You can also basically alternate and notice how much air can pass through each one. And if you still can't get it, then we're gonna do another test. Okay, so you can breathe, basically exhale rapidly. And notice if one nostril feels colder than the other. And if that is still not for you and you're still not getting a feel for it, you can also stick a finger underneath your nose and breathe out onto the finger. And notice which nostril may be putting more air out onto your finger. And I'm having you do all of these crazy tests because there is an extreme connection between your nostril and your brain. So every 90 to 120 minutes, it depends on your body, but every 90 to 120 minutes, one of them is clogged and the other is open. One is clogged and the other is open. And when one is clogged, we'll say that if you get a sense, go through all these little tests, one is clogged. I like to think of it as like a button. So if this side is clogged, button, I'm saying this is my right side. I don't know if it's flipped or what it looks like for you, but this is my right side. So if my right side, my right nostril is clogged, it's like a button, then the right side of my brain is dominant right now. It's more active. And my left side is a little bit more dormant. Same, flip the switch. If my left side is clogged, it's like a button, and the left side of my brain is more active, more dominant, and my right side is more dormant. So basically, and every 90 to 120 minutes, it switches back and forth. So you can basically map out your day because the right side of the brain is more, and you can look into this, I can give you more information on it, but it's more intuition, holistic, creative. Left side is more logic and mathematical, etc. So you can basically like figure out which nostril you're messing with right now, and then which which brain side of your brain you would like to use for specific tasks. So you can hack your system. And I love this. It gets me juiced on stuff like this because it's like, I call them knowledge bombs, where it's just like, you know what I mean? And it like changes your perspective on so many things. And I feel like this is one of those knowledge bombs for me because it's like your body is such a machine. You are not this body. Like, it's such a machine. And you can control it. So, in this practice today, we'll be working on balancing your machine, balancing this machine, and figuring out which side of your body you're gonna play with. But right now, balancing. So, yeah, we're gonna do Nadi, Shodhana today. If you guys are just joining, Nadi, Shodhana. Balancing the body, balancing the right and left side of the brain, which balances the right and left side of the body. And it's also really good just for oxygenating the body, and they say that it starts to join this like masculine and feminine energy within yourself. So, Nadi, Shodhana. Let me explain that. And for all the people that just joined, I want to also do another shout out to my featured homie for this time. Good morning. Yes, from France. A little France. Yeah, he's collaborating with me for this time being during quarantine. We've got some meditations and stuff in the brewing. So yeah, Quilla music. music.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come into the practice. Enough chit chat. So, come into your comfortable seated position with your sit bones able to root into the earth or root into whatever seated mechanism you're on. It can be a cushion, it can be a chair. Coming into this and feeling a residual lift. So imagine grounding down into whatever place that you're sitting on, grounding out and feeling a residual lift coming up the spine, lengthening your spine. The idea is spine lengthened. Feeling it coming all the way up through the crown of your head as if something's pulling you up. Spine is lengthened. Get used to what this feels like. Often our posture ends up being like this. So get used to what the sensation of a lengthened spine feels like to you. Could be painful, could be relieving. Just get used to some sensations in your body of this. And I would like you, with your left hand, this is the left side, left hand, you can come into a mudra, and it can either be Chin Mudra, up, or Jhana Mudra, Chin Mudra, Jhana Mudra. We'll do that with the left hand. So, I really like these. I'm going to talk about this mudra for a second because I think it's, I like to have intention behind things. I like to have a meaning for things that I'm doing. So, with mudra, for me, in my reality, what I've created and to make sense to me about this, pointer finger is like individual consciousness, like this human experience, this human vessel. And thumb is like the higher piece. Some say God, Mother Earth, divine, this higher thing that maybe resides in everything. Up to you. It totally is up to your intake on the world, but that is mine. So something higher than myself, and then myself, basically. Personal consciousness, higher consciousness. And I like to, when you bring them together, always have this higher, bigger, longer than the pointer. So this never exceeds that. This is always there. Also, a little nice, addition to this, your pituitary gland is stimulated on the thumbs of your fingers. So if you need like a reset throughout the day, you can press into this zone and it gives you a little bit supposed to give you a little energy boost. I don't know, totally up to you, does for me. Okay, so you can press into this zone, and the pituitary gland is this master gland in your body. It regulates hormones and a lot of your system. So, okay, pressing into this. Chin, whatever energy you create goes right back out into the world. Jhana Mudra, it's basically intuitive knowledge that's coming right in. And then with your right hand, I would like you to get into Vishnu Mudra. Vishnu Mudra. So right hand, and this is going to be flipped, so my right hand might look like a left hand, but it's my right hand. And you will take your pointer and middle finger and bring them down to touch sort of the meat of your thumb, this area of your hand. So bring it down. And then throughout the practice, Nadi Shodhana, you're going to be placing your right thumb on the right nostril, right side of your nostril. And in the practice, you'll breathe in through the left nostril and then place these two on the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. And breathe in through the right nostril, switch, and breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. switching each way. So you're focusing on one nostril at a time. One nostril at a time. Okay. So coming into the practice, whatever mudra, and if none of these mudras sit with you, then get up. You put them on the side, you can do whatever with your hand. Doesn't matter. And as long as you feel comfortable and it's working for you, then that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, so right hand coming into Vishnu Mudra. And yeah, I'd like to take a breath to sort of ground yourself. So reset yourself, get into the practice. So taking a breath to begin, just an inhale and exhale. And you can begin by taking your right thumb to your right nostril and inhaling. And switching and exhaling out of your right nostril. Inhale. And exhale out of the left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. And you can lower your gaze or close your eyes just to come more into yourself. So closing your eyes or lowering your gaze, dive into the practice within. And continue with whichever side that you're on. Continue. And I'd like to invite you to try and make the sound as silent as possible, not forcing the breath in or out. As soft as possible is the breath. And you can practice counting. I invite you to practice counting. Counting the breath. I'm going to go with 3 seconds in because I like threes. So we're inhaling 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3. And continue. And I'd like you to slowly release the practice and come into an awareness phase. So again, closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. A phase of awareness. Connecting inside. What is going on in my body? My feet, my shins, my knees, my thighs, my hips, stomach, chest, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, neck, face. Is this body tensing certain areas? Notice if certain areas are tense or engaged. Just noticing a space of awareness. Are thoughts coming up or emotions? Are you tired of this already? All is welcome. Okay, you can slowly begin to open your eyes, and we're going to come back to the practice one more time. So coming back, bringing your right hand into Vishnu Mudra. Thumb comes up to the right nostril, and inhale through the right nostril. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Try to dive into what this feels like. Continue breathing at your own speed. longer duration of time, or breathing out for a longer duration of time. Trying to keep them even. The inhale length and the exhale length. Slowly lower your hands, closing your eyes. We'll come into an awareness phase. Allowing for whatever is coming up to come up. Pain, discomfort, annoyance, balance, floating, any sensations to come up. And if something keeps coming up in your mind, whether it's annoyance or pain, try to feel into it. Try to feel into whatever keeps coming up in your brain. If thoughts keep coming up, or your awareness keeps getting distracted to a certain thing, try to feel into that certain thing. Feel into it. Extend your legs if you need to. Shake them out. Shake, 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 shake. Coming back. Shake, 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 shake. Okay. Coming right back into the practice, we'll begin with the 5 minute meditation. And for this, sort of same seated area where your sit bones are rooted into your sitting mechanism and your spine is lengthened. A sense of steady and stable, but also comfort and ease. Spine is lengthened all the way coming up through the neck, crown of the head, up. Spine is lengthened. And for this practice, we'll do a meditation, a mindfulness meditation, so very similar to yesterday, but this time, upon closing your eyes or lowering your gaze, I'd like you to set an intention. So, closing your eyes and lowering your gaze, we're going to foster the intention, an idea of detachment. An idea of indifference. So cultivate whatever that means to you. It could be a feeling inside or thoughts that are just like indifference. Like, you know, I've been in situations where people have an opinion on something and you just have no opinion. It's just a sense of indifference or detachment from a polarity, duality. You're non-dual, you're in the middle, neutral. An indifference to whatever comes up, all is well, but an indifference. So cultivate this feeling inside of indifference. And if you can, get a little feel for that. Maybe you can even like shrug your shoulders. If that works for you. Your body stores responses. Your body has all of this stuff stored. So little things like this are always, I mean, it means something. There's a reason why this is a thing. Or long sighs to relax are a thing. Or, But anyway. And then release this, and we'll come into the practice. So whatever hand positions work for you. Closing your eyes, regrounding. By grounding, I mean each breath in relaxes and dives you deeper into yourself. So allowing yourself to let go of everything outside of your body. Even the music or my voice, you can imagine it through your ears inside of your body. And come into your breath. And slowly begin to distance yourself from controlling the breath, to detach, become indifferent to controlling the breath, just noticing the breath. Notice thoughts or emotions coming up. Label them thinking. This machine is thinking. And come back to the breath. And if you find yourself controlling your breath, that's okay. Just try to easily move away from controlling to noticing. If you notice your mind wandering, notice it with awareness. Don't cry. Don't try to control the thought or be frustrated at the thought. Notice it as thinking. Label it thinking. And just move back to the breath. Label it thinking and come back to the breath. exhale, relaxing you further and further. Cultivate a sense of detachment, noticing and letting it happen. Thoughts, maybe tension, pain, noticing it and allowing for it to happen. All is welcome. Pain or tension, you can even label it body and come back to the breath. If you notice sensations that feel good, label it body and come back to the breath. Slowly begin to open your eyes or come out of the practice, slowly waking up the body. Whatever movements you need, come into an intuitive place of moving whatever you feel like needs to be moved. And slowly begin to grab your pen and paper and do conscious streaming. It's a brain dump. So brain dumping. Don't worry about your thought. Don't worry about what's coming up. Don't worry about it making sense. It can be like gibberish if that is working for you and that's the way your mind is going. But I would like you to keep the paper, because at the end of the week, we can see sort of which thought processes might come up or be a pattern for you in these sort of internal practices. So what stuff might come up? And I'd like to say, again, all is welcome. So allow for it to come up. Allow yourself to write whatever without worrying about if somebody's listening or if somebody's watching you, if somebody will read it. Just you and the paper, just dump. Allow yourself to dump. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this live today, day 2. I'll be here all week, people. And thanks again. We've got Adrian here, Quilla Music, joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Come back again.